Welcome back to episode 5 of the Fit Founder series. Today we're going to be interviewing Wasim Hajjiri, who is a 3-time gold medalist champion, who is a Forbes career coach, and who came here at a very young age from Jordan and was still very, very successful. He talks about his mindset, nutrition, and his daily habits that have helped him to succeed. Wasim, thank you so much for doing this interview. I truly appreciate you being here. So thank you for taking the time to come and share a little bit with the audience about some of the wellness hacks that you have and do and practice that makes you so amazing in business and entrepreneurship. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you can introduce yourself and let people know exactly who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay. So long story short, I am a career coach. I help professionals land their dream job. And the big part of landing a job, just like anything else, is the mental aspect, physical aspect. That's where nutrition, fitness, exercise comes in at its best. And I know you have a very active lifestyle where you incorporate both business and personal. And today, through our questions, I would love to share all of the things that I learned over the last decade, what everyone can do, working from home, working in an office, to keep your mind sharp and to be in the best physical shape.
So before we jump into all those things, share a little bit about your story. I know that originally you're from Jordan.
Yes.
And you came here at a pretty young age. And I think that's a really important piece of your story is how you even got here, because I think mindset is going to have a lot to do with a lot of this conversation.
Yes.
So if you can just share a little bit about how you came to America and what that was like for you.
Well, it all started about 12 years ago. I grew up in Jordan. Right after graduation, I moved out to the States. Very, very unexpected. It's a long story, but I was mainly inspired by my dad, who was an entrepreneur himself. When I moved out here, it was a roller coaster ride. And one of my first goals was to land a job. I was always into sports, and at that time, mainly weightlifting and bodybuilding. So the discipline was to go to the gym, to eat right, and the more you exercise, the more you perform at work. With all of the stress and the different things that we deal with, that's what helped me the most, especially coming here fresh, starting a brand new life, no friends, no family. Something that kept me, the biggest thing that kept me going was fitness. Go to the gym, lift some weights, feel good, go apply to jobs, rejection, ghosting, all of the downs, the adversity. I can tell you that the most important factor was exercise. And then after a few years into my journey, I learned about the power of the mind. And that's a whole other chapter, but mind and body, they go hand in hand. And if you want to get better at anything, it starts with fitness and nutrition.
So I know that you are a 3-time gold medalist and a top selling career coach. How do your training habits influence the way that you coach other clients?
Number one, as soon as I work with anybody, we talk about daily habits. Literally the first 5 minutes.
Even if you're teaching them how to get a job?
Even if I'm teaching them how to get a job, to build a business, to do anything, any goal, it all starts with the moment you wake up.
And why is that so important?
Great question. As soon as we wake up and right before sleep, the brain goes into something called the alpha state. Very, very simple. This is where the brain is a sponge, absorbing information on steroids. So whatever you do in that first hour sets the tone for the whole day. What do we usually do? Grab the phone, stress begins, go, social media, blah, blah, blah. I say, nope. You're gonna put the phone on the side and dedicate just 30 minutes. That is all. The whole day, 30 minutes on the calendar. The first 10 minutes start with meditation, breathing, and as you know, breathing regulates the nervous system. Moving into gratitude. We're so hardwired with all of the noise on the outside, materialism, consumerism, buy this, buy that. But if you just take a few minutes to appreciate all of the blessings that you have. I have a home. I have my 5 senses. I have my limbs. Every day that grounds you and removes the wiring of, I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to get this, I want to get that. So gratitude is a game changer. Everyone watching this, if you want to optimize everything you're doing, gratitude, because it shifts your entire perspective. And then 10 minutes of physical exercise. Anything from children to 100-year-olds can do some kind of movement. Some people have physical limitations, I understand, but do anything to move your body and feel the blood pumping and flowing. Walking, Squats, push-ups, sit-ups, yoga, anything, stretch, just move that body. And then grab a pen and paper, old school, not digital, and map out your day. What are my goals? What do I want to do? What am I grateful for? Writing things down is very, very powerful, versus just having everything in your head. And that's the name of the game. Daily habits, starting there, and then the job search stuff and the other and everything else.
So why is that foundational for someone that comes to you and says, "Hey, Wasim, I want to land my dream job. I need your help." Why not just jump straight into looking for the job? Why focus on those things before you focus on getting the dream job for the client?
Great question. Because everyone starts with stress. Every single person I talk to. And when you're stressed, you cannot do anything. Oh my God, I have to land the job. I'm losing my house. I'm losing my kids. I'm blah, 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 blah. With that state, anxious, stressed, fear, nothing will be done. So first, I have to take care of that part, because when you are calm, then the creativity happens. Then you come up with the productive ideas, networking, interviews. Imagine being anxious and fearful going into interviews. My name is Amanda. Give me the. No one's gonna hire you. You have to go in, relax, firm, confident. So we build out the mental part first, and the rest is easy. Working on resumes is nothing. Working on interview prep is nothing. As long as you're in a very relaxed, calm state, everything else follows. And that's why. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So would you agree that it's that part of that is nervous system regulation, but also vibrating on a certain frequency?
Okay, that's another great question, or second tangent of it. So the brain works like a computer. Very, very simple. Our subconscious mind is our operating system. Everything we do goes back to our operating system. The operating system has a set of beliefs. We have beliefs about work, friends, family, professional. Now, the belief that I hear every single day, Wasim, the job market sucks. I will never get a job. Every single day. Now, if that's your operating system, what will your journey look like? That's it. No jobs out there, no jobs out there. Unless we upgrade that old, outdated belief into something more empowering, then the actions and the results will follow. Mm-hmm. And you know this, you're in fitness. How many fitness programs and regimes are online? Thousands, maybe millions, whereas we have 60% obesity. So it's not a matter of actions only. Mindset plus actions or strategy. Mindset, strategy, mindset, strategy. Take care of the mindset, the strategy follows. Mm-hmm. This alone, there's tons of that, and most people are failing because this is missing, this thing.
Mm-hmm. So you went from coming in dead last in your first fitness competition
yes,
to winning multiple gold medals. What was that internal shift, that mindset or that strategy that you used? What advice can you give other entrepreneurs that might be thinking about giving up?
I love that. So that was actually one of the most difficult and challenging moments of my life. My first competition, a few weeks right before, is when I lost my father. And I've been training all of my life for that, and everyone knows it's always difficult to lose a loved one. But I am grateful that at that time my mom was right by my side. She would every single day tell me, let's get back up, but now you can use this pain and this fire to make your father proud. And that's when the light bulbs clicked. So I decided at that time to use the pain, whatever I'm going through, in the gym. More weights, more intensity. And as you know, when you work out, you feel good, your endorphins are pumping, and you're able to grieve better. The grieving will be there, but you can do it in a panicky, stressful way or in a peaceful, calm way. Mm-hmm. By regulating your nervous system through meditation, journaling, and then by regulating everything else with physical exercise and nutrition. But the main idea was I used that experience as a fire to now push forward. So after that first competition, which was dead last, I took it more serious than I've ever had before. Then I started to join more and more competitions, slowly but surely, from last place, 10th, 7th, 6th, all the way to the US Nationals, learning experience. But you have to keep going, because you learn so much along the way. And failure, downs, ghosting, rejection is a part of it. And all of that, the adversity teaches you so much about you, about your character, about what you're capable of. But the name of the game is one thing: keep going. And I am grateful for my mom at that time, who was that support for me. So that's, yeah.
So many people, they fail at something, they don't succeed at hitting that goal, and they might get discouraged, right? They lose that excitement. They feel like they maybe can't do it. They might have more of a victim mindset of like, other people are able to do it because they still have their parents, for example. I don't have the support of my parents. What's something that you would tell someone that would switch their mindset from using a failure to switching it into using it as fuel, like you did?
As fuel. I love that. Find a deeper meaning for that goal. Okay, so let's say now I want to compete, but why are you competing? Is it for the ego and the validation side, which will fizzle, burnout, etc., or is it to make my siblings proud, myself proud, even for yourself? But if the goal has depth and meaning, and that's what will truly keep you going, especially when the tough times come. So going back to that first competition, my deeper meaning was my dad. I want to make him proud. So that's what allowed me to push through. I don't feel like it. I don't want to go to the gym. We all have these days. Ups and downs. And actually, I would like to add one more idea about not feeling like doing the thing, or we all feel resistance or procrastination. Why? The golden question. In the 2024 Olympic Games, they did a study about all of the gold medalists. What makes them different? There's something called the 1/3 rule. Have you heard of it?
No.
1/3 rule. 1/3 of the time, you won't feel excited about doing the work or the training. 1/3 of the time, you will be neutral, and 1/3 of the time, you'll be slightly excited, which means 70% of the time, you're not gonna feel like doing the thing. But discipline comes in where you show up anyways. You're tired, you're sore, doesn't matter. No one cares in the end. You get up and you go do it anyways, because you're not gonna feel like it all the time. Some days are gonna be tougher. Some days are gonna be amazing. But the consistency, and it's all about that. This is what I learned. Discipline. Every day, show up, do your best, slowly but surely, and micro progress more than anything. Small baby steps, because we usually overwhelm ourselves with 25 things to do. But instead, think of what is one thing that I can do towards my goal. Every day, 5 minutes. Let's say I want to write a book. Every day, write for 5 minutes. That's it, Word document. Because when you start and the momentum picks up, that's when more of the creativity flows and you start to figure out things and learn. But you have to start, you have to go, you have to keep going no matter what.
Okay, so we're talking a lot about mindset, right? We've been friends for many years.
25 years.
It's been a lot of years. And one thing that I know about you, Wasim, is that you fast in the day.
Yes.
So I also know that food affects the mind, right? The things we consume go into our gut, and our gut is connected to our brain. So that affects the way that we think. So it's not just the power of the mind, it's what kind of food are we eating that is affecting the thoughts that we're having, which affect the actions that we're taking, which affect everything else, right? The results that we get.
Absolutely.
So being that you do fast for a majority of the day, do you think that that helps you in your mindset? Do you think that that keeps you more clear? Is it really a productivity hack in helping you have sustainable mental energy and to have a clear mind and to have a positive mindset?
I love that. And you and I talked about fasting, because for men and women, it is different. And I learned a lot from you on the women's side. But let me speak from the men's perspective.
For you personally.
Hormones are different. Human beings are all born different. Fasting. What is fasting all about? I think the most powerful impact of fasting is delayed gratification. So think of it from a psychological perspective, and I'll tell you a little bit about the biochemical effect of it. But when you feel hungry, and you tell your mind, no, I'm not gonna eat right now, that alone builds so much mental strength, you have no idea. The whole concept of delayed gratification, which is you earn what you eat. So when you fast, let's say 12 hours, and you eat that first meal, it feels so satisfying, it tastes better, and then you feel proud of yourself. You know what? For 12 hours, I felt hungry, I was tired, but I held all the way until now. So now you start to boost your own self-confidence. That's number one. So delayed gratification, very, very powerful. Now, on a biochemical level, Muslims do Ramadan every year. They fast for 30 days, which is a dry fast from dawn to dusk. Researchers did a lot of studies. What does that do to the body? 30 days. Now, it's a dry fast. It's a little bit more intense, but the fasting we all do is with water and coffee. But when we fast, you starve all of the bad cells in the body in simple terms. So all of the bad stuff is getting cleaned out automatically and naturally. Because when you wake up, now the body starts to tap into the fat that you already have and uses it as energy. That's why after the first 2 weeks of fasting, you feel so much energized, because you already tap into the natural body functions that you have. Whereas if I wake up and have breakfast, now my body is working to burn that. So it takes away from my natural energy. So that's the energy boost there. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now I'm up, I'm fasting, there's nothing in my body, so it's already tapping into the fat, and that turns into energy. Now the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, it might be a little bit tough, but the body will adjust. And when that becomes your baseline, it's phenomenal.
How does it affect you mentally?
Mentally.
You're talking about the physical energy that you're getting.
Yes.
You're talking about the gratification that you get and the discipline of calming the mind and you being in control, not the mind being in control. But if you can talk a little bit about the benefit that fasting gives you mentally and the clarity that gives you being able to do your job. Because most people, when they're not eating, they get quote unquote hangry, where they can't function because they're thinking so much about the food. So for you, how does fasting actually help and enhance your mental clarity and give you more mental focus?
Great question. Now, if you are starving during the day, you're not getting the proper nutrition. So first you have to go back there. If you want to fast, you have to eat very, very specific. You know what I mean? Depending on fats, proteins, etc. If you don't have that, the second day you will starve and it's not going to be good. So if you eat properly, you're not going to feel that raging hunger. Number one. Number two, we all have the idea that if I'm hungry, I have to eat. That's not true. And you know that. When we're hungry, the body is doing its natural thing, which means cleaning itself. So if you switch that belief into thinking, that's a big impact. I'm hungry, I have to eat. No, I'm hungry, my body is cleaning itself. That's a game changer, because we have a belief that if I'm hungry, I have to eat. If I don't eat, I'm gonna get hangry, I'm gonna go into road rage. No. But when you say to yourself, I'm hungry, yes, it's good, my body is cleaning itself. So let me allow my body more time to clean itself. The fasting. Now, gut health, you mentioned the topic of gut health. Gut health, I think, is one of the least talked about topics. Gut health is everything. Mind, body, spirit, everything goes back to gut health. Long story short, with the proper nutrition alone, let's say minus fasting, gut health starts to improve. When gut health starts to improve, mental health starts to improve. Performance skyrockets, energy, but it's as they say, the body is a temple. Whatever you feed yourself is affecting everything. It's not just food going in and out. And that's the depth of it.
What is your daily routine that keeps you sharp for both coaching and fitness? We all have different routines, right? And I think that we all go through different seasons of different habits and routines, and they change.
Yes.
But right now, what is the routine that you have? Do you practice something in the morning, something in the afternoon, something in the evening? What are some habits or rituals that help you in being a great coach to your clients in an entrepreneurship?
Great question. As soon as I wake up, the first hour is blocked on my calendar, and my phone is on do not not disturb.
What time do you wake up, by the way?
Oh, okay. I'm not a morning person. I'm not the 4 a.m. run club. None of that, guys. I wake up 9 or 10.
Okay.
I'm more of a night owl. So I go to bed around 1 or 2. And I know my system, my body well now. And I wake up around 9 and 10. And I structure my work. Sometimes I have calls at 9 or at 10. So depending. But the first hour before starting anything is for my daily routine, which looks as follows. The second that I wake up, very, very simple. My eyes open, immediately I go into gratitude. Thank you, I'm alive. That's so simple. And then I look at the sky, thank you, I have a roof over my head. It's as simple as that. And then I go down and then I touch my eyes. Thank you, I have eyes and I can see. Literally, it's as simple as that. And then I go down. I have ears, I can hear. I have my senses. Now I look at my body. Thank you, I have my limbs. How many millions of people in the world are sitting on a wheelchair? So the fact that we have these simple things, they're not basics, they're actually more powerful than anything materialistic. That grounds me and puts me in an amazing mood. And right away, freshen up, start with meditation. With meditation, for everyone listening at home, there's so many different ways to do it. But the simplest way is breathing. None of the fancy guided schmancy ones. Start with breathing. Breathing is extremely powerful and regulates the nervous system. Inhale from the nose. Exhale from the mouth and count the breaths as you're doing it. That gives your brain a focal point, so the brain will shut up. Now you're focused on the breath. And as you're focused on the breath, everything, the nervous system relax, your body, everything starts to flourish on a biochemical level. And then I practice more gratitude and then visualization. Visualization. Okay, I know this is such a big topic, but I'll give you the simple, short and sweet answer. It's not about visualizing yourself in the Lambo, in the mansion, the $100 million. That's all bullshit, garbage. It's too much of you're giving your brain all of these different ideas. They're too far in the future, and there's way too much of a gap to get there. So that's going to be anxiety and fear. Whereas, let's go back to, I'm going to visualize today. And from an emotional perspective, not images so much, how do I want to feel as I go about my professional and personal activities? 2 minutes, that's all it takes. So I close my eyes after the breathing and gratitude, and then I see myself go about through my day, my professional activities. Simple. I see myself on the phone having fun, talking with clients, boom, 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 feeling good about it. Because what this does, it's just like a blueprint for your brain. You know, when you go buy a house, everything is set up. The kitchen is here, it's 100 square feet. Visualization is the blueprint for your brain on how to emotionally respond throughout the day. So I see myself on the phone, boom, 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 having fun. I have sales calls, client calls, no outcomes, no expectations. That's the key. Emotions. And then personal things. I see myself working out, boxing, having a good time with friends, with family, and going to bed feeling amazing about the day. And that is it. The morning routine is about 30 minutes to an hour. If I'm short on time, 30 minutes. If I have a little bit more time, 1 hour. 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of exercise, and 5 minutes of gratitude.
You just do 10 minutes of exercise?
If I'm short on time. Now, and I know people probably have kids, etc. So
for you?
For me, because I work remote, I grab my dog and I go walk right away. First thing that I do. So that's my exercise. And as I'm walking, I practice gratitude and breathing. So sometimes I do the routine on the go. And yeah, so that is the morning routine. And nighttime, I just shut off all of the devices and listen to some relaxing music and go to bed. That's the most important thing.
Some of these practices that you have, is there a direct correlation between when you're doing these different habits and rituals?
Yeah.
And when you're not doing them? Is there a direct correlation to revenue? Through income?
Everything. Okay. This is a true story. I have a tracker so that it's fun and engaging for me, and it's a form of accountability, which is meditation, journaling, physical exercise. Every day I have a whiteboard and I checklist. Direct correlation. The week, how many checks are there versus how many no checklists are there. It's a direct correlation of everything. Sleep, money, joy, anxiety, all of that. So the week where I did the daily habits 7 days and the checklist is full, thriving. The week where I didn't where I slacked, let's say, results go down immediately. It's a direct correlation. This week I did the daily habits every day, results skyrocket. This week I slacked, results go down.
So I'm sure the audience is curious. I'm not sure how much you're willing to share, but if you're willing to share numbers, I'm sure that they'd be interested in hearing, does it make a difference in your income by $10,000, $15,000, $25,000? How big is the gap with when those checklists are full and you're doing all those things? How much more revenue you're able to make versus when you're slacking off and you're not doing that checklist?
That's a great
Whatever
question.
you're willing to share.
I'm thinking of a tangible number to explain it. Okay. Almost, and I swear to you guys, you can say double. So 50%, there's a 50% increase. Let's say, month to month, 2 months, right? Month 1, I did the daily habits, 4 weeks, full on. Let's say average revenue is between 50 to 20,000. Second month, it literally will dip to 10 to 15. That's the direct correlation between 15 to 20 down to 10 to 15. Now that's a tangible number, which is very shallow. Let's talk about it from an emotional level. Now the month that I did the daily habits, on fire, in flow, in state, peace, anxiety is minimal, fear is minimal, doubt, all of those ridiculous negative thoughts. Month 2, when I slacked, anxiety is higher, stress is higher, income is lower, relationships suffer, whatever, everything suffers. So the tangible numbers, that's a small part, but as an emotional level, as your well-being, that's also a major, major impact. So not only is this, it affects you at every single way, personal, professional, biochemical, you name it.
I can attest to that too. For me personally, when I'm doing all those things, my revenue is usually double.
Yeah.
So it's similar in numbers to yours. Actually.
If you say 10 to 15, 15 to 20, you notice. Yeah.
It's at least half, cut by half.
Yes.
Revenue versus when I'm feeling good, I have the right mindset, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing all the things. There's never really a downside to doing those things. When we're doing the meditation, the visualization, hitting the gym, good quality of life, even, that all has a direct correlation to increased income as well.
Yes.
So there's not really a downside to doing it. Yeah.
There's stressful action and peaceful action. You can work the exact same 40 hours a week. Week 1, let's say, is stressful action. Week 2 is peaceful action, 40 hours, 40 hours. But the peaceful 40 hours equal 80 hours of stressful action, I swear to you guys. So would you rather do this or that?
Yeah.
Same time, double the results, or half of the time and 2 times worse than the results?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like that.
Okay, so I know you have some pretty big coaching calls, and for those who don't know, you did work with Forbes magazine for a while, correct?
Yeah, I still am.
Okay, so you're still working with Forbes. Before big coaching calls, interviews, or when you're launching something, how do you prime your mind for peak performance? So outside of anything that we just talked about, when you're going into an interview, when you're going into a coaching call, is there something that you do, a practice that you do right before you start that will help you in your performance before going into something?
It's a 2-minute routine. 30 seconds, I do breathing, or I would say 1 minute of breathing, 1 minute of the visualization exercise. Let's use an example. I have an interview coming up, a job interview, an hour from now. So it's 12 o'clock, my interview is at 1 o'clock. 12:50, so 10 minutes before, here's what I do. First, breathing. I stand up from my desk and I do hands up, inhale from the nose, hands down, exhale from the nose. I learned that from Wim Hof, the Iceman, the Guinness record guy. 1 minute. Because why is that powerful? Physical exercise plus breathing. So now you feel all of the noise in your mind shuts down. And then I sit down, close my eyes, visualization. I see myself go through that interview, again, from an emotional perspective. Having fun, engaging with the person, focusing on how can I serve, not how can I sell or myself or whatever I have. And when you focus on that, going in, who is this person in front of me? It's all about them as well. That's always at the forefront of my mind. Tell me about you. What are your passions? It's not about me, because that's gonna go nowhere. So I make that person the star of the show. Even if the call is about me, but in the end, who cares? It's about this human being in front of me. So I see that 1 minute visualization, I'm engaging, I'm having fun, and then I rock and roll. So it's a 2-minute technique. Anyone can do it. Start with breathing, and then 1 minute of visualization, and watch what happens.
And it's free.
And it's free. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 120 seconds.
Yeah.
That is all.
Yeah, and it's actually the same for me. Before going into calls, I always visualize the outcome that I want. Years ago, before going into a call, I would just jump into the call.
Yeah.
But now, when I'm going into a call, I'm visualizing what is the outcome of this call that I want. What's the goal of this call? What would I like the outcome to be? And most of the time, it actually turns out to be the result that I had visualized, or that I wanted.
Yes.
Because I know what I want. But when we don't know what we want, it's up for a free game, right?
Yes.
It's like the famous Alice in Wonderland quote, when the cat asked Alice, where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter which path you take then. It's the same with getting on a call. It's like, if you don't know where you want the call to go, then the end of the call, there's not really a destination that I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
And so any path will do, right? Any outcome is fine. So you talk a lot about having the right mindset.
Yes.
What is one mindset shift that helped you to get to where you are today?
That's
one
powerful.
mindset shift. Because I know you have a lot of success, you've done a lot of things, you've accomplished a lot of your goals.
Thank you.
But what is one mindset shift that
most thing that helped me with everything? Gratitude. Gratitude. Immediately. I have a whole chapter in my book about gratitude. Because anytime you feel like complaining, switch to gratitude. Anytime you feel frustrated, switch to gratitude. You're tired, gratitude. Gratitude is the easiest fallback in terms of emotion to ground you and remove that anxiety of always looking at the future of, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. And it's a muscle. Gratitude is a muscle, just like anything else. At the beginning, it might be difficult, but if you practice a few minutes every day, starting immediately as you listen to me, as we're talking, that also regulates your nervous system, and now it becomes a mental pattern for your brain instead of complaining, because we all as human beings, we complain a lot. Not because we're evil or bad people, because of the noise. Materialism, consumerism, social status, buy this, do that, so we're bombarded. But gratitude unwires all of that. You're like, okay, I don't have this and this and that, but what do I have? I have a roof over my head. I have my senses. Now that grounds you and brings you back to what you have, and then the actions follow. But I can tell you gratitude.
Amazing.
Game changer.
So I actually want to go back to the previous question and allow you to kind of elaborate on you working with Forbes for credibility purposes as well. Working with Forbes magazine is not easy. How did you end up working with Forbes, and what is the role that you have with them?
Back in 2018. Building out the career coaching business, things are going well. In my mind, on my vision board, I had Forbes on there. True story.
Vision board.
I had my vision board, but at that time, now I understand it way better. But Forbes was on my vision board. I wanted to be Forbes 30 under 30 at that time. That was one of my goals. I'm on LinkedIn, I swear to you, true story. I get a message. Hey, this is Jessica, we're part of the Forbes Council, boom, boom, boom. I thought it was a scam. I thought it was like, this is AI. I looked her up, I swear to you. She's legit, she's one of the executives at Forbes. And what caught their attention is one of my interviews with Fox News. When I won the Nationals, I went on Fox News, and somehow that interview got to them. Wasim, what's your story? Tell us. Oh, Jordan. What I love about Forbes is that they truly, truly value diversity and inclusion, and they're looking for people who are different backgrounds, different styles, ethnicities, you name it. So they were really drawn into my story coming from Jordan, building a new life here. So they told me, all right, we're gonna bring you in for an interview. All goes well, you can become part of the Coaches Council, you can publish articles with that, and all of that. So I did my homework, preparation, like a machine, visualization, you name it. But it was very organic, the conversation was great, and my story is what really sparked their interest. And always my journey, I wanted to be on all of these different media outlets just to spread the message to a bigger audience. And that's why I'm so grateful for Forbes, Amazon, Fox News, all of these different media outlets, just to show them, listen, if I came from another country, brand new life. You can do it too. That's pretty much the message.
It's actually one of my favorite quotes is, it doesn't matter what happens to you, it matters how you respond.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're going to be faced with a lot of different situations, circumstances, and we can't control a lot of those things in life.
Yes,
But
yes.
we can control about how we react, how we respond. You're a prime example of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The last question of the day is going to come from Daily Dopamine, who is a sponsor of this interview. So these are deep dive conversational cards, which I'm going to gift you with, or Daily Dopamine is going to gift you with after this interview. Thank you. So we're going to pick a card from here.
All right.
You're going to pick a card from here, and then I'm going to ask you the question that you pick.
Okay.
So there are 3 categories of questions. We have a deep question, deeper question, or deepest question.
All right.
So which one would you like?
Deepest. Let's go.
All right, deepest conversation. The question from Daily Dopamine is happiness a choice, or is it largely influenced by external factors?
I think happiness is overrated because happiness fluctuates a lot. And if we allow our happiness to be dedicated on external things, that's the suffering. But if you focus on happiness, the joy of being alive, peace, I would tell you, instead of happiness, peace can always be maintained. Joy is up and down, sadness is up and down, but peace and reflecting back on the happiness of simply being alive, simply existing instead of external things, it can be infinite.
So you would say that happiness is a choice? I agree with you that happiness is different from joy, right? I think that's what you're trying to explain.
Okay.
The difference between joy and happiness is fleeting.
Yes.
It's driven by external circumstances.
Yes.
And joy comes from within. It comes from fulfillment.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So when it comes to happiness, I think happiness is a choice.
Okay, if that's the main question, so is it a choice or is it affected by external factors? It's a choice. The reason behind option 1, external factors always change.
True.
Always change.
Which affects our happiness always, right? Up and down, up and down.
If you allow it to. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
If your happiness is dedicated on external factors, and that's where suffering comes in. Why? Because happiness, let's say, I'm happy in relationships. Relationships are not forever. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with money. I'm happy with... All of these external things are impermanent. Even people are gonna check out. Does that make sense? Yeah. So why would I dedicate my happiness on impermanent things that are always fluctuating? That's gonna hit me hard. Whereas I choose to be happy minus the external things. Because in the end, it's all just noise. I talk about this a lot in my book, The Internal World versus the External World. We have to be very careful because there's so much noise, and you can easily get sucked into it. So if your happiness is dedicated more on intrinsic motivation versus these extrinsic motivation like money, cars, freedom, and you and I know many different examples of billionaires and millionaires who had everything and then ended their own lives because their happiness was dependent on external factors. It wasn't deep from within. You know, like Robin Williams. He made all of the world happy, but he himself was not happy. That's the trickiness of external things and external joy. And internal is the safest, best place. So minus the external materialistic things.
Wasim, thank you so much for doing this interview today. Please let people know where they can find you. You're also a 2-time selling author, or you just dropped your 2nd book, right?
Third.
Third book. Oh my goodness.
3 books, it's okay.
So please let people know where they can find you as well as your books.
Number 1, a quick Google search. If you look up my name, Wasim or Wasim the Dream, you'll find me. My website is getyourdreamjob.net, and all of social media is Wasim the Dream. Very simple. Just look me up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone who listened. Remember, gratitude is the key.
Welcome back to episode 5 of the Fit Founder series. Today we're going to be interviewing Wasim Hajjiri, who is a 3-time gold medalist champion, who is a Forbes career coach, and who came here at a very young age from Jordan and was still very successful. He talks about his mindset, nutrition, and his daily habits that have helped him to succeed. Check it out. You don't want to miss this episode. Let's jump into it.